Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris, ja.
Und ich bin Greg Nagel.
And this week on the show, we are drinking Oktoberfest beers. Here's the part of the show. Yeah, I'd normally play some Oktoberfest music here, but we actually got like copyright infringement or whatever on DMCA on YouTube for the last time we played the traditional Oktoberfest music, which is like, come on. How isn't that just like a song that belongs to the world now?
It's like lustige Musikanten.
Give me a break. Like getting DMCA for Oompa music. Like,
dude, the guy worked his ass off to blow that tuba, and you're like, bro, I own this.
In Germany, the crime is called Und Musikstillen baden.
Oh my God. Fucking Jason. So yeah, it's
just cram words together, man. That's what I learned about German.
Pretty much.
They'd just be like, oh, what's that building? It's like, oh, the sick people Fixenhausen. It's like, oh, okay.
It's the Krankenhaus. Krank is sick, and then the house is the Krankenhaus.
So yeah, it's that special time of year. We're recording this at the end of August, which is not, I mean, okay, so everyone talks about seasonal creep with Oktoberfest beers, right? And it's, I mean, we're what, 3 weeks away from when it technically starts in Germany? Like it starts middle to end of September.
September 19th.
Yeah, so, I mean, is it seasonal creep at this point? Like I just started seeing October. I think they pretty much hit it right on the head for...
First of all, you're a seasonal creep, not me. But and you know, bigger breweries have to brew well in advance and do their packaging, and it's got to go to distribution, then it's got to go to some dude on a truck, it's got to unload it, it's got to sit in a grocery store warehouse, and then finally it's some miracle it happens that somebody buys it before Oktoberfest. Like that's seasonal creep. But local breweries, you can't find shit.
I feel like if you want to please the masses, like your beer needs to be in stores for like the exact 2 weeks only that they are ready to see it.
Right?
Like you need your Oktoberfest and pumpkin beer to be in stores from like October 1st to October 15th and no longer or earlier.
Yeah, I mean, what Greg said too about local breweries not having any Oktoberfest beers, that is 100% correct. Because my original plan this morning, I bought a couple beers from AleSmith. They're doing, I think it's the 5th year they've done the Sublime beer, the Mexican lager, and today's also their 25th anniversary, I believe.
Holy smokes.
And so they were selling the 40s of the Sublime beer for $10 a bottle. And I bought 2 bottles, and I thought, well, I'll get up early. I'll go for a run. I'll drive down to AleSmith, pick up my beers, come back. I bumped the show an hour. And then when I got in my car at 11, I realized it takes an extra half hour to get to AleSmith compared to Stone. I base everything off Stone because Stone's about an hour from my house. It's like an hour and a half to get to AleSmith. So I would have gotten back to my house at like 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah, you were like, when you were talking about making a run to San Diego in the morning, I was like, man, John's going to do a lot of driving today.
Yeah, I didn't plan well. So as soon as I got near the freeway, I thought, and I still had to buy my Oktoberfest beers. So I just decided, well, maybe I'll just go on like a tour of local breweries and pick up some stuff in Crowlers. Nope, nothing. There's nothing available right now. They're all waiting until, Oktoberfest season, which is totally fine. I expect to see these local breweries to have their Oktoberfest beers out in the next 3 weeks, which is, it's easy for them to do. But when you're these bigger regional breweries, yeah, you're going to have it out extra early or a little bit earlier.
Sierra Nevada's got to give those beers time to warehouse age.
Exactly. And they know that. I mean, and seriously, and now they're fresh in stores, which I think it's perfect timing. So, yeah, Oktoberfest beers. I think we have a nice eclectic collection of beers on the show. We have a couple that overlap. Yeah, by the way, Tim's here. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Sorry. Took a little bit to get my beer and get back here.
It's all good. He was in a mad rush. I think you went all the way down to Brewery West to buy beers, or did you just get it from the store?
No, I had to pick up. So I was like in a mad rush trying to find them, and it was annoying. And then I had to pick up a single can that I had bought online at a place called Blackbeard's, and thankfully they had a bunch in the fridge, so it worked out.
Oh, perfect. Well, you're here, and we're happy.
Yay.
So let's see. What do we want to start with?
I already cracked into my polliner, not gonna lie.
All right, that's a good place to start.
Polliner, I hardly knew her.
I got a good mix of beers, I think. We brought up Polliner. Polliner is interesting. Jason, did you get the Polliner Oktoberfest beer or the Oktoberfest Märzen?
I got the Oktoberfest Märzen.
Interesting.
Yes. So, fun story about Polliner too. I always love to bring up is one time I was at a Belgian themed bar, and they had Polliner on there, the Polliner Hefe. And when my girlfriend ordered a Polliner, they corrected her and said, "Do you mean Pollinier?"
Pollinier. That's so funny.
Yeah, Pollinier.
I love that. Yeah, this beer. It's so there's two different beers you can get. There is the Oktoberfest beer, which is the beer that is brewed in Germany specifically for Oktoberfest. And the beer, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, it has to be brewed in Munich, correct?
Munich, yeah, Munich.
So they have that beer, which is the beer that Greg and I have. And then they have the Oktoberfest Märzen, which is, I'm assuming, the same recipe.
No.
Maybe brewed somewhere else?
No, same brewery.
So Greg could probably fill in a little better than I can here, but I think the traditional Oktoberfest beers aren't all Märzens. There's a lot of other styles in there and lighter beers and stuff. Like a lot of people's fest beers are lighter in color. In fact, I have one later that is not a Märzen. Erdinger.
I got that one too. But did you get the Weiss beer one? The Weiss Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I got the Weiss.
Nice. All right, I've never seen that for sale before. That's kind of cool. But essentially, Oktoberfest started in 1810 from the Crown Prince of Bavaria's marriage, and back then they didn't know how to indirectly kiln their malts. So all their Munich malt that they are produced just made Märzen. It was like a darker colored lager. That's as light as it could get until 1840 when two guys went to Britain and then learned how to indirectly kiln their malts and then came back to Germany and then started brewing these lighter color, like Helles style beers that are extremely bright. And what we're drinking now is sort of like Oktoberfest is sort of like an Imperial Helles. Not really Imperial, but they're all like 5.5 to 6. And
so my question is
around there too.
Polliner or Pollinier, they're brewing Oktoberfest beer and Oktoberfest Märzen. Now, why not just? I mean, if we can get them both in the United States, why are they making two different versions?
So when you're there in their tent, you can get different styles. They have the light and the dark essentially, and people will buy whatever they like.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm missing then. Got
And
it.
Yeah.
What's funny is when you do the analog of that here, the light, they have the same thing. Like the last time I went, it's been a little while, but the last time I went to like Alpine Village Oktoberfest, they would have the same thing, light or dark, right? But the light was Bud Light. and then the dark was like Spot in October.
Oh no!
And there's still shit canned off of Bud Light.
Which I think that's dead, right? The Alpine Oktoberfest thing. That's RIP.
I mean, it was dead to me a while ago. Like,
well, technically speaking, yeah.
Years ago, they stopped letting you bring in glass mugs. It just became so much of a shit show. Like, it became known for, like, it was the place to go get shit-faced for, Southern California's ruffians. And so it just became more and more of, like, a problem every year.
Yeah.
But I have some good memories of
Oktoberfest is.
Yeah. Well, they got historical reasons to keep that going, I guess, but they stopped letting you bring glasses in at all. You only could have plastic. So I'm like, if I can't have a big ass dimpled mug full of fucking Märzen, then I don't want to be at your Oktoberfest.
The origin story behind Oktoberfest is one of my favorites in like beer lore. Just like the fact that it was a multi-day party, and then again,
it was like horse races originally.
Yeah, and then you mentioned like the fact like the dudes went to like learn how to brew and like it stole secrets, like trade secrets from Europe or from England and yada yada yada.
How to
Like,
make pale ale.
yeah, it's such a fun like that. I remember reading about that a while back, and that's such a fun story.
Yeah, I think their names was like Anton Dreyer and I don't remember the other guy's name, but
They were I can't remember, but one of them, or if not both, the name is like of a brewery that's still around. I can't remember which one it was.
I think he's from Spaten, if my memory serves me right. But yeah, I'm sure somebody's going to correct us later in some chat or.
Yeah, I have not heard this story. The only
Sister
story I know
Ambrose.
about Oktoberfest is the traditional Prince Ludwig something.
Ludwig, yeah.
in,
Dude looks like a pimp.
Like they got married and it was a celebration kind of thing, and they brewed the beer months ahead of time because they had to let it lager and do its thing. Dr. Bill, he knows the story by heart. Like he could recite it word for word
and
every time.
Märzen signified like so essentially after the brewing season, so they have seasonality, so hops are picked generally in October, and then they sort of go through their season of brewing, and whatever sort of sits around in bins and stuff, they'll kind of brew it all at once in March and then store it to let it mellow out in caves. And that was the story of Märzen.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty stoked about my purchase. I mean, you've seen this stuff before where breweries put together like a gift pack where it's like you get 4 beers in a glass. Like Weinstefaner did it. Like right when they first came to the United States, they packaged, I think it was 6 beers and a glass for $120 or whatever it was.
A few years back, Westy did it too. When
West-
one of the recent
West Small.
Yeah, I think that's what John was referring to.
West
Actually.
Veteran.
West Veteran. You
Is that
said
what I said?
Stefaner.
Oh, did I? Oh, I meant,
Yeah,
yeah, I did not. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
I got
the
your
only way
mind.
you could get
Yeah.
it was like the 2-pack plus the giant glass.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. West Veteran, not Weinstefaner. Again, German beer on the mind.
Also, Tim, did you get a new camera? Your quality's at like an all-time high.
It's called Gigabit.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Damn. Jealous. Gotta brag.
Check us out.
I finally tweaked up the Wi-Fi quite a bit, and the camera's working well. So
Sweet.
Cool, man. So I got this thing from La Bodega. It was $15, and it comes with a can of beer and a glass, which you might think, oh, who cares? Like it's just a, that's pretty much all it is. But it's a dimpled liter glass, and the glass is like they made the can to fit inside the glass.
No way.
Which is amazing. It's a liter of beer. I think it's a special can.
Yeah, it's a
It looks like
1.5
a Foster's, right?
It's a 32-ounce can, right? Or
It's a full on. It's a
crowler.
Yeah, it's a 1 liter. Like it's 1 liter. It says on the back. It's an actual 1 liter can, which I don't know if that's a thing you can get, but it's kind of old timey looking. I just love how it fits so well.
And it is really cool that they actually give you, because the liter is actually a little bit of a tricky amount of beer. I guess like it's a little bit too much. If you use 3 12 ounces, it's a little bit too much.
Right.
Although there's headspace in there, so you're okay.
I hear it's a lot easier to have a liter of cola.
Right.
Only if it's for
a cop.
Only if it's for a cop, yeah.
America's favorite beer.
So yeah, I was stoked to see this, and for $15, oh, that's a lot of head. Yeah, this pours like a crowler. This is a disaster, but it's cool that it like fits exactly inside of the glass, and
that dimpled mug will keep that head nice and foamy the whole time you're drinking it.
Yeah, you gotta chill that puppy.
You got nice.
It was in the freezer for an hour, so I mean maybe that wasn't enough time, but this will be my sipping beer, I guess. Well, the head works its way down.
The Polliner was my sipping beer, and I accidentally finished it, so I guess I should have a different beer. These are just, oh my god, so perfectly drinkable. Like just a little bit of nice, like malty, bready flavor, and just super drinkable. Doesn't linger on your palate. It's a kind of thing where you just keep wanting to have more of it, even though it's a really hot day. This is a drink a liter. 2 liters, 6 liters beer.
Oktoberfest is, I said it before, I'll say it again, by far one of my favorite. Like Oktoberfest, Marzen, Weissbier, all those things that fall into that sort of umbrella are like my favorite styles. They're such a nice mix for me of like the maltiness, the toastiness, the like light body. I mean, I know they kind of range, like you said, like from the Weissbier to the Marzen, like the range of the body can be different, but it's just such a delicious area. And it falls like right into my wheelhouse.
Same, dude. I mean, obviously, learning German right now, and I want to go very badly. I was just looking at plane tickets and trying to plan something out for next year. But obviously, Oktoberfest this year, the actual one is canceled for the second year in a row, which is kind of a good thing because it sort of brings people together in tight spaces inside. So the next best thing is to support these breweries by buying their imports. And while they're fresh, these beers hold up. They travel well.
Speaking of fresh, this liter, this 1 can liter was packaged on May 3rd, and it's got an enjoy by date of 1 year. So, I mean, an Oktoberfest beer that's almost 4 months old. That's not old. That's perfectly fine. It's probably a little bit better fresh, but considering it came all the way from Germany, like, I think it's perfectly acceptable.
I just appreciate that we can get Oktoberfest beers in cans now. Like I haven't seen cans, I don't think ever. This is the first time I've seen.
This is the most bottles I've had in my fridge in years. And I oddly too, just a weird coincidence is no two bottles are the same of the ones I got. They're all 12-ounce bottles, but they're all different like sizes. Different shapes and sizes.
There you go.
So speaking of, imports and supporting, the import, I originally had tried to put in an order for like a lineup of pretty much all German imports, just to go like classic, but then, I failed at actually following through. And so my last minute, I ended up getting, actually, let me see, mostly almost all California Oktoberfest beers.
Sweet.
So Sierra Nevada, AleSmith, Brewery West, Bottle Logic, and the last one is not. But
the last one's for sure an import from. Oh, I did get one German. Okay, cool. But while you guys are enjoying your Paulaner, which is a classic, or Paulinier, I have this Brewery West here, which is Bear's Ears. I have not heard of this. I've never had this one. Like, there's this typical lineup of California breweries that have the Oktoberfest, Sierra Nevada, AleSmith, the Left Hand. Like there's this stereotypical bunch that you always get every year. And I've never had a Brewery West one before. And in typical fashion, they've got the super cool, like every little one is an individual sticker stuck to this can. It's a bunch of like super pink bears all standing up with like these crowns on top of them. It's super cool. As far as the beer goes, the color is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the first year. I would assume it's not the first year that Brewery West has made a Märzen or an Oktoberfest beer, but it's the first time I've seen it actually packaged in cans. It was a bit difficult to find on Untapped. I had to go to their website to find out the actual name of the beer.
What a great location. If they were actually to hold their own Oktoberfest, their location is prime real estate for it. Such a huge, wide open warehouse.
Yeah, and they have all that outdoor space too.
All the asphalt in between that's like blocked off, so you don't have to worry about like cars or roping it off or anything.
Does any of the SoCal breweries do like a good Oktoberfest thing? I don't know of any, but listeners, if you know, let us know.
Green Cheek really tries to pull off a legit one. They're doing 2 beers. They're doing an oaked version of their Oktoberfest to do like a Keller pour, and they do have like a band and stuff like that. Anaheim Brewery had a huge one for years, but obviously just went out of business.
What's a Keller pour?
Out of the it's like a cask pour, but German style.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that term before, so thank you.
It's like unfiltered out of the wood, tapped in. They tap it and beer goes squirting out everywhere.
Nice.
Oh, Integrin, yeah, obviously.
I couldn't find that one.
Never had one.
They
haven't released it yet. They're waiting until Oktoberfest. Yeah,
I've seen it though.
Really?
I swear.
It might be
Hopped LA said that they had released it.
Okay.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe I misunderstood. I could be totally wrong.
Dude. Yeah, a pint of Paulaner just goes down without even thinking about it.
Paulaner.
That's Paulaner. It's not a thinking man's beer. It's just kind of like
It's a drinking while you're eating a pretzel and having fun in your Lederhosen beer.
You know what though? I think you could give that beer to just about any, just typical like non-discerning beer drinker who isn't super into, like, who'd be like, I don't like dark beer. Like that kind of person could probably just crush one of those. I really think like it's just a super drinkable beer that's really accessible.
Yeah, it's got like
the hop character's nice.
A slight German Euro edge to it that lets you know it's not just like a light American lager. It's got some body to it and some depth, but it's definitely crushable. This one though it's a bit heavier. The 6% alcohol by volume. It's not that big, but
it's one of the higher.
Yeah, like low fives is where you want to be. I think typically
people get drunk in the Polliner tent for
this
sure.
Is 5.6.
What is mine? It is 5.8. Wow, that was really drinkable for 5.8.
And one done.
So moving on, I'm opening a beer that I think. So last Oktoberfest, we were definitely under lockdown, or maybe the tail end of lockdown. We weren't doing anything socially. That was October 2020. And I'm almost positive we had AleSmith's Oktoberfest beer on the show back then. But that's what I'm opening right now. It's a beer much like Sierra Nevada that I look forward to every year. It's super crushable. I think it's more on the darker kind of savory end of Oktoberfest beers. But still, light for what it is and super drinkable. 5.5% alcohol by volume. It's an excellent beer.
What do you got, Jason?
Open that one as well, John.
I'm rocking what I've always considered kind of the standard bearer, the one that I've always had when I've been to in-person festivals in here in California, is the Spaten Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
As Greg said,
green bottle.
Supporting these breweries. Anheuser-Busch is really going through some tough times right now, so I'm glad to keep them afloat.
Yeah, and keeping the theme with the sort of the original, one of the original 6 or 7 Munich breweries is the Hofbrau, which has a spot in Vegas too. If you ever want to go check that out.
Whoa,
I was there once years ago, and
did you get spanked?
Yes, a woman with a Jägermeister paddle.
Yeah, whacked your butt.
Spanked me hard enough that I literally went into the bathroom to see if there was an imprint on my ass.
Nice.
They don't fuck around, dude. They're like,
no,
whack.
And if you're gonna get spanked, you might as well get an imprint on your ass. Like,
it was a wooden paddle that said Jägermeister on it, and that's the kind of shit you go to Vegas for.
You got Jaegered.
chew your beer coming out with "This is Spaten."
Nice.
Well played.
Oh, that's pretty dark. That's a Märzen too, right?
Yep. Just pretty typical Märzen. I once drank 7 liters of this, and I don't remember the rest of the night.
7 oh my gosh,
that's a lot of liters.
It was a big night. I didn't
oh my god,
that's what you call a bender.
Yeah, I passed out on the drive home, and that was the end of that night for me.
I mean, you weren't driving.
No, I was in the backseat.
I woke up.
No, but somebody else in the car threw up, and it got on me. It was a rough night.
I always remember one time I woke up in a Del Taco parking lot. And I have no recollection. I was in a passenger seat, so somebody had driven me there and then left.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I had a full bag of Del Taco on my lap too, untouched.
Hey, I don't see a problem there. At least you had some food waiting for you.
How's that beer, John?
Going back to this AleSmith beer again, like it's as far as Oktoberfest beers are concerned, it's definitely got more body, more heft to it. I think it's definitely more savory as far as the grains go. You get kind of like a honey, a sweet honey kind of toasty grain quality to it, with a little bit of like a German yeast character. My one bad thing is the head just completely goes away.
It's gone.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
if I put it in a dimpled glass, that would change. But it just seems like the head's just going to go away no matter what. Where with this Paulinier, like I've been letting it sit in the bag, like it's still got a little bit of head on it, and if I agitate it, it's gonna
Yeah.
come right back. Like
I second what you were just saying, John. Like compared to the Brewery West one, it was pretty solid. It was fairly light. The toastiness was subtle. It had a bit more bitter than I would expect from like the maltiness of a like a Martin. This one, the AleSmith, which I'm having as well, it has a lot more of that like honey sort of the malty sweetness that I tend to enjoy with this style. So it's definitely standing out more.
And if Untapped's numbers are accurate, the AleSmith is the lowest in IBU of, I think, every beer we have.
Wow.
The Bottle Logic beer coming up is like 20. I don't think the Polliner lists it, but like another 2019. This one's 13. So it's definitely got more of like that sweeter malt character to it without being like syrupy or heavy. Like it's still crushable, but it's really good. Again, it's another beer like the Sierra Nevada Meriton I just look forward to every year.
Dude,
if I could have a liter of this, I would be down.
Yeah. I don't think I've had the Hofbräu, or they actually pronounce it Hofbräu. It's got more of like a wet hay note, which is totally different from the Polonier. It's seriously like wet like dead grass. Very soft smelling.
Wet
nice
hay,
floral hops. Those Hallertau Mittelfrüh.
This beer, the Spaten, compared to the Polliner, is a bit sweeter, a bit more of that like kind of brown sugar note on the front. Subtle. It's not sweet, but it's a little bit more sweetness on the front of the palate.
Yeah.
Again, super drinkable, and especially with these mugs. These mugs just like dump a bucket of beer. So I'm already like shit.
I feel like we need to do a 4B dimpled mug at some point, just so it exists in the world.
Can we please?
I'd buy one.
Like not a full liter, maybe, but maybe like a half liter.
Yeah, these small ones
are perfect.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Wunderbar.
That'd be wunderbar.
It'll just say 4B Wunderbar.
So with Märzen, I'm looking for some Munich malt character, which would be like the toasty bread, or like pizza oven burnt dough. Do you get any of that on that beer? Or you said brown sugar?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that toasty bread. It's just a little bit on the sweeter side, where the Polliner was not quite as sweet. I think that makes this beer, it's probably why this is the most mass successful beer. It really does seem to be that like lagers with a touch of sweetness are the ones that tend to be the mainstream breakthrough. Like if you try the big three light lagers in America, Bud Light has a little sweet character to it that the other beers don't.
And that's why I don't like Bud Light.
Same, but I think that's why it does well, because people like sweets.
Do you know why these? Yeah. Do you know why these beers work? Is because they have you get some bitterness on the back of your tongue, and then you get the brightness of the hops in the front of your mouth. So it creates like a cycle effect of like, I just want to drink more to keep that effect going. If you really pay attention to it, take a drink. It's like, man, you really get that like deep bass in the back of your throat of the hops. And then you get this brightness at the front of the sweetness of the malt. And you just kind of like, just keep drinking.
I'm all about that bass. That's all I'm saying.
That being said, like you really have to search for the hop character in these beers. They are not notably hoppy.
It's sort of like just smelling a flower, you know.
I honestly don't want hop character. I want it to be not even a complimentary thing. I just want it to be like a foundation for the beer. You know, if I get like something hoppy from it, I mean, I don't. This is all about the malt for me. What
would a hoppy Martin like? What would that be like? Is there something that exists?
A bad IPA
into?
No, I mean, if you've had Pivo Pils is a hoppy Pils.
I could see that. No, come on.
Yeah, but
I could see somebody dry hopping
an American
Helles.
An American dry hopped fucking Märzen. Just take a Märzen recipe and add a bunch of hops. Homebrewers, do it. Kyle said this one.
Yeah. Get to work, Kyle. He's like, be right back.
Put some put some. I keep wanting to say Spada hops. God damn it. I've had too many Oktoberfests already. Put some Mosaic in it.
I mean,
No, that just sounds bad. Like
Strata.
super fruity, like Strata, like Mosaic, or no.
I don't think it would be a good idea, but I'm just curious because you mentioned like obviously these have this major lack of that hop character. The Brewery West did have a little bit at the end, like it did leave a little bit of a slight bitterness, more so than the so far the AleSmith. But it made me think like, what is there like an equivalent that is like a malty hoppy crossover?
I'm just gonna make one of these with a bunch of Simcoe in it.
I mean, multi-hoppy just describes IPA 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I said that like 3 minutes ago. It sounds like a bad IPA that I don't want to drink. That being said, though, we all know how to make beer, so let's just try it.
We are the four brewers.
We just invented Oregon IPA from 2010. Oh man.
Moving on, I've got a beer from Bottle Logic that Tim also has. Which I think this is my favorite Oktoberfest beer name. This is their Oktoberfest Fest beer lager.
Oh God, I didn't even realize I bought this. And I didn't even realize.
I had that
Radical
person
name.
at the brewery.
If you
familiar.
look, you're not obviously if you're listening. Describing the label, it's got the like traditional sort of Czech, like the checkered sort of
the
diamond
Bavarian
checkers,
flag,
Bavarian
but
flag.
it's green.
It's two
instead
colors
of
green. And in each of the diamond shapes, there is an orc with the Bottle Logic logo on a shield. Very, very Warcraft.
Very Warcrafty.
Yeah, in 2021 may not be as excited about that Blizzard Association anymore. But...
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that kind of hurts.
I mean, just orcs like from Dungeons and Dragons.
The official beer of the Cosby Suite.
From Mort from Orc.
That's not cool, man.
Well,
it's not,
I didn't do
it's
it.
not. It's not
Blizzard
that
did.
kind of scandal, right? It's more in the workplace kind of.
No, they
literally
it's
had a
really
room
bad.
they called the Cosby Suite when they.
Oh,
would
that's
do
right.
BlizzCon.
Yes. Yes. All right. Yeah. All right. I don't want to talk about that.
I should point out
Very cringe.
This Oktoberfest is one of, as we were talking about the different styles, the Märzen and whatnot. This is a Feist beer, and they have to say in parentheses lager because in case you just don't know.
I think it's more for clarification for people who don't know, because like Bottle Logic is a hype brewery, right? Like they're well known for like fundamental observation and their hoppy stuff, their hazy stuff. You see Oktoberfest, it's like, ooh, which malt bomb like pastry thing is this? And it's like it's
also
a lager.
It's a Feist beer lager, but it's almost 7%.
Feist beer?
Fest beer, sorry.
They call it
okay.
Fest beer, yeah.
I was thinking I got it mixed up with Feist, the musical artist.
3,
yes.
4,
Tell me that you love me more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She was awesome on Sesame Street, by the way.
This is the highest ABV beer I think we have on the list. Yeah. Almost set that. That seems excessive. Bottle Logic, why does it have to be 6.8? Like,
Because it's hype beer.
And okay, so I had this in person, and I'm curious to see what your take is because I remember mine.
It's the alcohol I think is well hidden. I don't get the 6.8. I'm comparing it to the AleSmith. Let's see.
Okay, so my take, the AleSmith is sweeter. The AleSmith has slightly less carbonation. I'm getting more of like I'm kind of getting almost like a fuzzy tongue from the Bottle Logic. It definitely hits more. Like the flavor has a little bit more of a punch, I think.
I think it's dry. It's a bit too dry. That's where
what
the
it is.
alcohol hits, I think. Where the AleSmith, there's more body to it. Again, it's a little bit sweeter. The
Bottle Logic ends with a bit more dry bitterness on my tongue. Like
it's a bit lacking, I think.
The AleSmith makes me want to just keep chugging it because it's so smooth and like easy to go.
Yeah.
And this one's leaving a little bit more of like a dry sort of like bitter residue. Not to say that I followed up. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's not. I don't necessarily want a liter of this to just chug on. But it is interesting. It's a different take that I think is kind of cool.
Greg, what do you have to say about this beer?
I thought it was 6.8 and it should have been a 6 or a 5.5.
Yeah.
Like that alcohol really sends it down the wrong road. I found myself going, would I have a liter of this? No.
Mhm.
Would I order a second one? No. I want something else because it was just too heavy. It was sort of taxing by the end of the pint. There was just too high ABV for a lager.
Yeah,
Like, it's tough to pull off a 6.8 lager
I think
without going down malt liquor road.
I think it fell into the trap, which the cliche is that American breweries are going to take a style and they're going to do it extreme.
Yep.
And that's kind of that. Like, did you need to turn the ABV up to 7?
Maybe it was a mistake.
maybe, but I
mean, that's not better.
They've been brewing a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Because maybe over attenuation.
It's not the first time they made it.
I mean, I think there's a certain level
yeah,
of
that's
like,
true. Yeah.
okay, well, you know who's making it, so that's what it's going to be. It's not.
And maybe
gonna-
they're kind of riding that higher alcohol sells better train. Ooh, this is almost
I don't know,
7%.
man.
But I mean, it's like all things. It's open to interpretation. I just
Orcs
don't
like more
necessarily-
booze.
Yeah, that's also true.
Orcs like to get forked up.
Yeah, orc like to fork.
I don't think it's bad, but and like you said, Greg, I think I would be like, oh, Oktoberfest beer.
I'll get another.
I'm
I'll get
gonna-
something different.
I'm gonna have a pint, and then after I'm done with it, I'll be like, what else is on
Also,
tap?
you're competing with breweries that have been doing this for decades, a century more.
Yeah.
And like you got to come with your fucking A game. You can't be a little bit off, otherwise it's like there's 10 other ones on the shelf that are better.
Yeah,
at what you're doing.
why go so high on the alcohol? That's the
I mean,
question that I'd
but-
like to ask someone from Bottle Logic. Like,
But you could. Sorry. You
It
could
just doesn't
go-
make sense. Like, why? It's like a gimmicky thing. Like, I don't know.
But you
Maybe
could
they think
go-
it needs to be drier. I don't
You
know.
go both ways. Like, why not try something different to stand out from all the other Oktoberfests? I don't know.
Yeah, I've
but
never had a 7% lager that was better for it.
it's
That's
such a like classic style. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to innovate on Oktoberfest or Märchen or Fest
You're
beer,
gonna
you know?
dry hop it with
Different hops, man.
Mosaic.
different hops.
I guess, but if you're going to make an Oktoberfest beer, just make an Oktoberfest beer
there-
to the best of your ability. That's
Are there
all
any
I'm
fun
saying.
details about this? They use Bark Pills, Vienna, Munich 1, Cara Munich, and acidulated malts, hopped with Magnum, Tettang, and
Yeah.
Mittelfru.
Yeah, very traditional.
Yeah, so they're using
Interesting.
those acidulated malts to, balance the pH, which is
Reinheitsgebot.
taking a traditional approach to it, which I appreciate. They're not using acid or lactic acid or some other kind of acid to do it.
I mean, they might be, but
Well, on paper, it looks like they're trying to be traditional about it, right? It's not a bad beer. I bought a 4-pack of this, and I will drink these beers. I think it's fine.
Same.
Do I prefer it over anything else so far? No way. It's a Bottle Logic Oktoberfest beer. That's the best way to describe it.
Would I trade this for your dimpled glass of Polliner? Yes, I would.
I'm sure.
Greg,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So
yeah,
my
I just
next
cracked that
beer
too.
is the Erdinger Weiss beer. First off, the art on this is silly. It is the weirdest, like
Oh, yeah, I love those traditional sort of like
Yeah,
some
Greg's
of
is
those Euro
better.
labels get real
Dear
funny.
God, why?
so
Uh,
on the back it's written as Weeb beer. Is that a German
What?
thing? It's got like a big capital B instead of the 2 S's.
That's-
yeah, a B is 2 S's.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that what the big red B in like my emojis is for?
Yeah. One big B is 2 S's together.
Yeah. They're vertically
German.
stacked instead of horizontally stacked.
Huh, it's wild.
Yeah. The big B is 2 S's.
Because these do look kind of like terrible anime. Maybe that's why they call it Weeb beer.
But dude, they gotta like revisit that art.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
know which
Girl, she
executive
looks like a-
son drew that.
She looks like a zombie a little bit. Yeah.
Just
like,
get rid
number
of the
one-
people. Get rid of the people and keep
Oh, dear God.
the fun, landscape background, and that's all you need.
Number one
I
reason
don't
why,
want you to change anything. No notes, Erdinger. This is perfect.
So yeah, I don't think I've ever had this beer before. It's kind of it was like the first time I've ever seen Erdinger's. It's like a Weiss Oktoberfest, and it's extremely light. I mean, it's obviously got some residual yeast left over, or just protein from the wheat. But it's not a hef. There's no banana. There's no clove.
They very proudly note on the bottle that it is bottle. They say bottle fermented. I believe they mean bottle conditioned.
Probably second
Brewed
fermentation.
all naturally using traditional bottle fermentation, never pasteurized.
Yeah, bottle fermentation is bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Secondary fermentation. Yeah, if you don't like the banana clove, there's none of that in this beer. Maybe just slightly banana, but
I had
notable.
this once before in 2013. This is really, really good. And honestly, it's kind of in vein of a now forgotten, like the American wheat beer. This tastes lot like those. Like the it's got a little bit more flavor to it, I think. It's not as mild, but it's very much in the vein of like when there's that trend for a while of doing wheat beers with American yeast.
Yep.
Without the Hefeweizen yeast.
Yeah, Vidbeer does that.
We all have I feel like we regularly discuss our soft spot for American wheat beers like Widmer and Pyramid and all that stuff.
This is that.
That's awesome.
So these are just good beers, right?
But it's softer. It's very soft. It's very liter worthy. Whereas I guess you could drink 6 Vidmers in a sitting. I don't know.
Yeah. If you put your mind to it, you could, no problem.
It's a summery. I mean, Oktoberfest in Germany is not necessarily hot. You're coming into like late fall where it's the sun setting and it's a little bit cooler at night. But like for here, this is like slam dunkle.
Oh, I like that. Slam dunkle.
Hey, this is a really interesting beer. It's like, it's weird to have a traditional German wheat beer that doesn't have a Hefe character to it. But it works really well. It's a really cool one. I'm glad we got this one.
And it's Erdinger.
As we come down, who has the Sierra Nevada?
I do.
John, do you?
I do not. Jason does not either. No.
Okay. Cool. Well, I have another one that I'll do
next.
before we get to the Sierra Nevada.
Well, Tim, you're so you had the Brew West, the AleSmith, and the Bottle Logic. I think you should wait. You should do the Sierra Nevada beer first.
Absolutely. 100%. As Cicerone servers, I highly recommend through my extensive Cicerone training.
Unless you want to fuck your palate up right now.
So I opened it and I smelled it and I agree with you based off of that. So I'll save this last one for the end because we were talking about twists on Martin. So
I just
So I'll just hang out until we're ready for that Sierra Nevada.
So I opened my last beer. I've got a beer from friends of the show, Dust Bowl Brewing Company.
Nice.
This is their Oktoberfest specialty lager. 5.3% alcohol by volume. And I expect this to be awesome because, I mean, Dust Bowl, they're a dependable brewery.
Taco truck, come on.
Yeah. These classic styles, come on. This by far, though, is the darkest of the Oktoberfest
look at that
beers.
Clarity.
It's clear. It's very, very.
Ooh,
I mean,
cool.
and I'm holding this up against like a properly colored light. This is like very burgundy, ruby-ish red. It looks
Rich
really
mahogany.
nice.
And this is the Dust Bowl. I am gonna have to find this one. Well,
Yeah,
after we hear how it tastes, I guess.
it's gonna taste fine. I'm positive. But it's again, the label artwork on this is you got the Bavarian flag vibe on there. I like the gradient of the blue. That looks cool. It looks very clean. I dig it.
Dust Bowl's rad.
Fun fact, in Animal Crossing, the flag on my island is the Bavarian flag that I custom made. So
As you should be. Did you know what Holzer means in German?
I don't. Tell me.
Really? Okay.
I
So
don't.
you're it's like a logger, like somebody who chops wood or sells wood. Holes is
Nice.
wood.
Cool.
You're like the wood man.
John's got a lot of wood to give out, so
Yep.
I've got so
And
much wood to
Mather,
give.
Right.
Mather, nothing in German. Harris, nothing in German. Matt Becker. Becker is he's a baker. That's the
Oh.
official.
That's so appropriate
The
for Matt
official
right
one
now.
Yeah,
Is,
as he's watching British baking channel or whatever.
He's been into cooking for like the last 4 or 5 years, like hardcore. He's that makes sense. He's following his heritage.
As you should. You go
And
chop
I've always
some wood.
known John to be into loggers, so it all
And
worked out.
Nagel. Nagel, by the way, means nail. So of course I would run a nail salon.
nailed it.
Nagled it.
That's the new one. It's nagled it.
I would go
Nagel
to
the-
a Nagel nail salon. That I don't know
Get your-
what I would
Get your hair done. Get
Just
your nails
maybe
did.
just a manicure, like all the nails manicured, and maybe I get to drink beer while I'm getting a manicure. And,
Oh, doesn't that
Oh
sound
my
rad?
god,
There's
Yeah.
a Kuhnen Nagel right by my work.
Nagel's nails.
Kuhn and Nagel.
Yeah. Is that
What's
what
a
it is? That's
Kuhnen
pronounced? Kuhn and Nagel, whatever.
I have no idea what that is.
You never seen that? Or Kuhn? It's around. I swear to God, we've talked about it before. It's like K-U. It's like Kuene
It's
plus
by
Nagel.
Monkish too.
Yeah, there's one over there too.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Not my people, unfortunately.
It's your dad, dude.
Patrick Nagel,
Please, Patrick.
the '80s
Nagel's
artist.
listening. So my last beer, I did have 5, but the Hacker Shore, I had already gotten through the whole line. There's people behind me. I was like ready to check out, and there was one bottle missing from the 6-pack. I was like, shit. I was like, well, I don't have time to go back, so just fuck it. I'm not getting that one. I have 4. But my last beer, so sorry, Hacker Shore, another time. But I have Bell's Oktoberfest, which I don't remember ever having before.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I saw that. when I was looking. I couldn't get it, but I saw that online when I was checking places.
If you asked me of the big regionals who I think would make a good Oktoberfest, Bell's would be way up there. I think they like just building on my expectations. I think they're going to do really well with this.
They
I
have
agree.
Traditional.
They have a fall release. It's got like an owl on the label or trees or something. I remember the label, but I can't remember the beer.
Oberon.
No, it's not Oberon. It's something
Oberon
else.
has a sun on the
Yeah,
label.
okay.
Yeah.
I only remember it because we did some like promotion for it way back in the day. And so I feel like that might fall into the same vein. Anyway.
I
Moving
mean,
on.
Bell's is one of those breweries that, again,
They're big
Dust Bowl
enough.
kind of follows into their same, like, I don't know. They make great beer. Like, they're dependable. They're not going to release something out to the mass market that isn't good. And
Yeah, no, it was a brown ale, best brown ale.
The best brown
So,
ale, yeah. I
yeah,
found.
yeah. So I mixed it up, but either way,
So I have a hot take, you guys. I have a hot take. So
He's
okay,
gonna-
so bigger regional breweries suck at making hazy IPA, okay?
yes.
Yeah.
But they're really good at making German style lagers. Do you know why that is? It's because their breweries are all huge fuck off 250 barrel breweries that they bought from Germany
Yeah.
that are
course.
terrific at making German beers. They're not great at making hazy IPA.
I mean, because
That's my
when
hot
they,
take.
I mean, that would make sense because when a lot of those big regionals started, where did the manufacturers of the best beer shit come from? Germany. Now
Mhm.
you've got manufacturers everywhere, and so
Right.
the smaller breweries are probably not going to want to import their crap from Germany, and thus
Well-
that's actually a really interesting hot take, and I think there could be some merit to that.
Well,
Mine
yeah, like
is.
because a lot of these old school breweries have these like crazy ornate copper brew houses made by fucking crazy imported German artisans and shit. It's like,
they're amazing.
yeah, they're awesome.
Ding, ding.
But are they suited to make hazy IPA? I guess you could make it work, but
I mean,
You got
So-
like a crazy regional, like you got like I don't know who's a regional that doesn't make a good hazy.
I mean, they
of
all
them
make
except Sierra
okay.
Nevada.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. So, but imagine them being like,
Wow.
we're gonna contract our hazy to like, I don't know, monkish.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Or like Firestone Walker does, they just propagator it, and
that's true.
that's how you make a good hazy IPA. That's where I got that sort of hot take from, is from Matt Bernaldson on a tour. He was saying that, you know, they brought the Germans over to the Braufaktum guys, and they're like, where do you put your hop cake? Like, how do you get the hop cake out of this? He's like, yeah, we don't do that style because of that. It's really good at making 805. And
what's a hop cake?
You know, when you're whirlpooling out in the trube pile that sits there in the bottom before you're ready to ladder out.
And their question was what?
The brew house isn't like a German brew house isn't meant to do those huge hoppy styles.
Oh, okay. Got it. Going back to like saying regionals can't make good hazy IPA, like when we've talked about this before, like Sierra Nevada's hazy little thing, like is their biggest selling beer. Like,
but is it, of course, like, up to par?
That's
with
why I
Monkish,
said
though?
Every brewery but Sierra Nevada.
It depends on what you're looking
Yes,
for. Monkish is going to be like the trendy haze, and the Sierra Nevada is going to be the more consumable haze.
They all taste the fucking same.
I am honestly, I am just so sick of hazy beer. Like I bought the collab with Ommegang and Firestone, Neon something, and it was well made. It was good. I don't care. All right. So I know we're going off on a weird tangent, but I'm just saying, like, hazy IPA and breweries, I don't think the hazy IPA style is going to last nearly as long as Märzen or
could you do a liter of hazy IPA in an Oktoberfest situation? How fucking diabetic would you be?
I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
We're gonna go all Euro beer all the time.
We're just old man ranting right now, but it's fine. Like,
hey,
the fucking hazy...
you know, Jason, we have been podcasting together long enough to call ourselves old years. Man podcasters. Well, me and Jason even more than that. Like, we're going on 10 years.
True. Yeah.
So,
and it's just like fucking. Like, I feel like hazy IPAs are just there so you can have an Instagram account where you get a new beer label every day, but you never have to drink a different beer. Like, it's just like, how many Instagrams have you seen that are just a picture of the exact same beer in a glass with a different can next to it, and those beers all look identical and they all taste goddamn near identical, and it's just for people that don't want to try anything new. They're just like, I drank
my Instagram
900
trick.
different labeled hazy IPAs and they all taste the same. Every monkish beer tastes the same. Every other half beer tastes the same.
I mean, that's fair.
They're all the fucking same.
For boomers. No way. I will not take that. I'm backing away from this. I'm not a boomer.
I appreciate a well-made hazy IPA. Don't get me wrong, but you can't fucking like throw down a liter of one.
No.
Yeah, no. I think
you could, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like we crap on this all the time, but admittedly, I did pick up a couple other halves on Tavor, so I'm gonna see how those turn out.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the style itself. I'm just saying, I don't think it has the longevity of these more traditional styles.
It'll be around forever. There's a market for it. It's just not us.
Ooh,
but like,
go ahead.
Also, this
another
beer.
hot take.
Speaking of traditional styles, this beer isn't very good. It's the worst one I've had today.
Oh, so the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest, by the way, fucking delicious, crushable, well made. But I've been following Hamburg in Germany has a beer week that's happening now. And I was thinking, like, they're showing all these exotic beers that people are making, like triple dry hopped, fucking Dunkelweizen and stuff like that. And like shit that we would never even see here. And I remember talking to Stone Greg at the time after they did Stone Berlin. He's like, yeah, Greg Cook he's like, Germany sucks for like brewery innovation. It like doesn't exist, but he's totally wrong. There's all these like smaller breweries that are popping up and in neighborhoods that are making fantastic styles. But
I think what Germany didn't like about Stone was they like kind of marched in there and said, you guys don't know how to innovate, but we do. We're going to change everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, chill.
Beside the point, I think Reinheitsgebot, which, you know, is the German beer purity law, actually, I think is good. it's keeping beer honest there. Like, whereas we have fucking, what did we have last week? Like, what did you have, Tim? The beer with the sour.
The cotton candy watermelon
watermelon. Like, that doesn't exist in Germany. And I would be excited to go to a beer store and have like, you can still make that, but just don't call it beer. And I'd be like,
that's
awesome.
exactly how what you're saying right now is exactly why I want to start in Germany and just like wind my way through every Eastern European country that I could and just go to every beer cart and get, a stein of whatever it is for like $1, like that, what you're saying right now, because it's reliable and it's good. But to your point though, like I think this happens with, almost anywhere. There's always going to be a few people that are going to be innovating. So while you have this tradition, there will be people who try to buck that, and you can't write them off. It's like it's like the U.S. brewing scene. I mean, when did like craft beer take off? Like the late 80s, or like there was just the shit that America made, and then suddenly somebody's garage popped up, and like you got all this stuff that starts going. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes.
Yeah, I mean, and if you follow Hamburg Beer Week, which is phenomenal, just look up it on Instagram. There's a bunch of people Instagramming like local beer bars and all their can releases that they're coming out with. And it looks like craft beer here, honestly, like 10 years ago, which is kind of funny. But just a huge subculture of just rad beer people like getting together and trying new things. And the brewers are excited and passionate to do something new for the region. It's really cool.
I would follow up really quick on your Sierra Nevada note. Like, I do feel to a degree that Sierra Nevada does no wrong, and I could be like way over the top on that. But between Oktoberfest and Celebration, and like just I don't know, they nail it almost every time. It feels like for me,
especially Oktoberfest.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is so crushable, but it's hitting all the flavor characters that I want. Oh man.
Oh, and Jason was talking about a brown sugar note in one of his Märtens, and I totally get that on this. Just a light bready brown. Like toasted brown sugar.
Mm-hmm. I also appreciate John's like got his sampling glass, and then every so often you see him sneak off camera to like snag a chug from his stein.
Yeah, he's like,
it's like
it's in a bag next to an ice pack, so it's staying chill.
Chug it. Nope. Come on,
that's how we're finishing. That's how we're finishing the show out.
Nope.
This is one of the only shows I think I've ever done where I've finished almost every single beer.
Come on.
Yeah, I want to go back real quick to my my Dust Bowl beer.
We'll do some oompa music, and John will chug the rest of his fucking liter at the end of the show.
Not gonna happen.
Fans demand it.
Nope.
We'll just make our own song.
They can't DMCA us if we're just like.
And then bust in some clarinets. Like.
I forgot what I was going to say about this Dust Bowl beer.
You can chicken dance.
Well, you should figure it out.
It's the maltiest of the bunch. This Dust Bowl beer. It's good. It finishes dry. What's the ABV on this thing? I think I said it was 5.3, 5.5. This is perfect. It's again, don't be deceived by how dark it is and how red it looks. It's rich. It's tasty. This is liter worthy. This is a good beer. So
nice.
Oh my god,
Jason, what are you up to?
Honestly, I just grabbed something else because I'm out of beer.
Okay. I've got one more.
So Tim has one more beer that when he he was late to the show, obviously, and he added it to the list, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
I was like, that's a bold choice.
Let's go,
Tim.
boy.
So when I was trying to build a cart, like when I was looking at all Euros, and like I'm very not picky. I'm just like, okay, does it fit what we need to do? Just add it to the cart. And
right.
So this was one of the ones that I saw in like a couple of the places I was trying to put together a cart, but it didn't work out. And so when I went into, and I'm really quick, shout out to Blackbeard's Crafts on Sawtell in West LA. They're a fantastic place. The owner is amazing, and they have such a good selection. Blah blah blah.
Did you go there because we keep?
I'm gonna give a shout out mine too.
The wet bar or wet goods.
Stanley's Wet Goods. No, they did not have anything online, and I had to go pick. So I'll tie this together. I might rant for a second.
That's okay.
To Greg's original comment about diabetes, there's a brewery out of Nashville, I believe, called Southern Grist, and we went there when we were in Nashville, and we loved everything they had. And it's like you're fucking like lactose and like 6 different fruits and just like sour and just your diabetes like in a glass. And we loved it. And so I'm always looking for it. And I found a couple on Tavour recently, which were fantastic. And then I heard that they did a drop in LA, so I went seeking it out, and Blackbeard's had it. So I literally online ordered 1 can, and I had to go pick it up, and that's how I ended up there getting all my stuff. And they happen to have this next beer that I have that I couldn't get from somewhere else. So I was like, let's just get it because it sounds.
Dude,
first off, I know I'm going to hate it. Second off,
it's so good though.
Second off,
all right.
I want to just go crazy.
So Tim's referring to Shangri-La's route beer, Märzen.
Fest Märzen, right?
No, it's not the Fest. It's just the Märzen.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
I have one in my closet.
So it may not be Oktoberfest, but it's a Märzen, so we went for it. I personally, is it Rauchbier?
Rauchbier. Yeah.
I hate smoked beer.
Well, if you hate smoked beer, guess what, my friend?
I know.
This is the birthplace of smoked beers, so you're getting it from the source. Bamberg, Germany is where the style, like the whole city is just smoked beers. I think there's a few breweries that do the style.
Deep Purple is faintly playing in the background when Tim opens that. Just
honestly, for me.
So go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It pours like somewhere slightly on like a really light stout, but more red.
It looks like coffee.
That's pretty dark.
I mean, honestly, this was one of those like, I know I'm not going to like this, but I'm going to do it for the show.
I mean, technically it's
delicious.
Technically it's a Märzen, but for me, it's like drinking bacon.
Well, that was the point. Like I was like, we were talking earlier about dry hop on Märzen. What's it going to be? So I saw this. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting twist on that. It just screams like campfire, like you said. I could kind of make out like bacon in a cast iron skillet off of the aroma.
And then
definitely not like an Oktoberfest beer. It's a Märzen, but with smoked malts, which is fine.
So the good people of Bamberg have been making smoked beer well before hipster bartenders have been doing smoked old fashions.
Yeah, I think it said the 14th century.
Well before the hipsters have been making smoked old fashions.
Gravity-fed oakwood casks.
Definitely well before.
Yeah.
This thing, you go to a bar and like some bartender's doing a smoked old fashioned. Like everybody in the bar is like, I want a smoked old fashioned too.
What exactly is a smoked old fashioned?
So there's several ways to do it, but essentially they're taking like a brick of wood. The best way to do it is taking like a beech wood. They will torch it. Put your glass upside down all over the smoke while they stir your cocktail, mixing all the ingredients. They flip it over, put your ice cube in, decant, strain over the top of it, and then they'll take maybe an additional smoke to layer on top. It's so fucking hokey and so like 2010.
You're literally just drinking smoke.
One of my friends got me a smoke infuser cocktail thingy for Christmas. I haven't used it yet. It's like
just
a little
smoke weeded with it, dude. Just put your weed in it.
Honestly, it feels like it would work for that, but
it will.
Yeah, it's just like a little like you put wood in there, and then it's got like a little like heat element thing, and then like a tube and like a glass like little bowl.
Yeah.
I've had a handful of smoked old fashions, and Greg, you point out like there's a couple different ways, like putting the glass on it. I've had one where they put like they light the wood and they put the glass. They put the glass dome over the glass and the wood, so it's all in there. And it's partially for show too, because when you lift it off,
all show.
The smoke goes out, and
100%.
I don't know, it's fine. So I will say the smoke on the aroma of this guy is a lot stronger than the flavor. I don't actually hate it as much as I thought I would.
So the flavor, that's why I said take a sip, because the flavor actually holds up that smoke. Have you ever had candied bacon before, where you can throw bacon in a thing and then throw brown sugar on it, and it candies itself, and that's essentially that beer.
I would say it's like think bacon, like mixing in your syrup from your pancakes with your bacon. You know?
Yeah, it has that, but like maybe I feel like I'm getting a little bit more, like a little bit of like maybe the bacon burnt a little bit. There's a little bit of ash on it, but not in the way. But not in the way I'm going to throw this batch out. You know.
Good.
And so does that come from that they just like, I don't know, like smoke all their malt over burnt hay or some shit?
A portion of it. Yeah. So going back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode of like the original way to make Märzen was to do that beer. I mean, obviously not to that extreme, but you're tasting like historical. Like
it's like kilning malt has gotten more refined over time. Where before you take a bunch of malt and you put it in a kettle over fire, some of it's going to get burnt, and that burnt aspect is going to come across in your beer as being smoky.
So I would assume like in 1800s,
now, modern kilning is more baking the malt and not burning it, and so you get more of the caramel aspects from the malt rather than the smoky like burnt aspects, because you aren't literally burning it.
The same principle as like smoking a brisket. So you're doing all your wood and smoke off to the side, and it's not like underneath it, like you're just getting flames crackling in your meat the whole time. They're off, and it's you're creating that vacuum of like heat that's going across and smoking your meat gently, not like
it's all about direct heat and indirect heat, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I think until those two Germans went and discovered how to do the pale ale and lagering, most things were that way. Most
I would assume so.
That
at least to a degree. Like floor malting, like back in the 1800s Germany was all the direct heat. So I'm sure there was smokiness and everything.
And what's interesting in that too, and I'm sure somebody better versed in beer history can illuminate the timeline, but in the US you had almost the same thing, but the people that brought clear beer to the US were German brewers. So
100%.
US beer tended to be darker and cloudier and have a lot of proteins in it until
California Common.
Or even just lagers in general, until German beer and German immigrants bringing the techniques and styles that they liked really brought
steam beer,
clear beer.
Steam beer was the best they could do when they came over. I was just going
to say, doesn't Anchor have a California Common, or is the steam considered a
steam beer? That's the de facto.
Yeah, that was the first one I remembered, and yeah, that does have a darker, like sort of feel to it.
Until they were like, oh, let's put some fucking rice and corn in it, and then they made lighter, delicious beers. That's how they got rid of all of the whatever shitty malt that they had, the 6-row.
Yeah, and I've talked about that on the show all the time. The reason U.S. brewers used adjuncts is because 6-row malt, barley malt, was so much more protein heavy and not clear versus 2-row malt. And it was too expensive to import malt from Europe, so they used other stuff to make the beer clear.
Corn and rice.
I think either way, the takeaway is that Märzen's and Oktoberfest beers are far superior to all other beer ever made.
100%.
I've had 4 of them. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll agree with it. I'll
this
agree with anything you say.
This is the best beer I've ever had in my life.
That seems like a good spot to end the show.
That was good, dude.
Good. Let me stop recording.
Unless Tim has something else to say.
No, I can't top that. That was amazing.
And hot takes.
Did you record this time, Tim?
I did, and I had it on the right input, and I wasn't as I know I started late. I'm sorry, guys, but I wasn't rushing, so I had the right setting this time.
We're all good.
Question.
Yeah.
Do I sound extra echoey still?
You sound great.
You sound good.
Oh, good.
There's some echo, but not as much.
It's greatly reduced.
So I figured out my setup then. I have a wall behind me and the screen in front of me.
I think it's a little Lego.
If you put like some kind of tapestry or blanket or Even like a canvas
to
on the
brewery.
wall behind you, something that could just absorb the sound, you'd sound even better.
Okay.
But you sound way better than the last 2-3
Okay,
weeks.
Yeah, because I thought if I put the wall behind me and the screen in front of the mic, then maybe the bouncing wouldn't be so
Before it was like now batting.
No, batting.
Now batting
Tim,
for
Tim,
Pedro
right there,
Cordon.
right there, right.
bad. You can look at the assembly square behind me.
There's some Lego back there. Look at that.
That's Birch Books.
Cool.
Let's see. What do we got? We got Birch Books. We got the backside of Hogwarts.
Beauty.
Part of a Ninjago Lego in progress.
I have not built any Ninjago stuff yet. I am in the middle of building the VW T2 camper.
Ooh, nice. I've got the Saturn V and the Moonlander eventually to get to.
Cool. Saturn V's fun. Moonlander.
You said it was a
I have
bit
not done.
repetitive.
Well, yeah, it's a big tube.
Mhm.
The
Okay,
fun
good.
parts are the detachable like sections and the little mini Moonlander that's in there, and yeah. Are you gonna do you have space to like actually make like some kind of like Lego city with everything? Because I know that you can like link them together and stuff like that.
So we have Birch Books here. We have Assembly Square, which is like the other big city one at the other apartment, and a couple of like custom made buildings that actually hook in. So I'm considering getting a second desk just for the city parts.
Oh, there you go. That's where it begins.
Exactly. It's really fun though because of the way that you can like link them together, and we have street pieces and everything. So it might get a little crazy. Plus, my son and I, we watched videos of the people who have their like basement turned into a fucking metropolis.
Dude,
so
you seen Brixie's videos?
I don't know if I've seen Brixie, but we watched
Brixie, he's a dude from Canada. Dude, Brixie.
Okay, we watched
RICKI whatever.
We watched Jang, and
I've
another
not
guy.
seen Jang.
He does reviews, but he also has a huge city that's amazing.
Brixie's is pretty huge too.
Tim, you should build a huge city, rename yourself President Business, and craggle it all.
That would be amazing.
President Business. Nice.
Like his Lego city, his Lego business on YouTube is its own LLC. And like he did a business walkthrough on his channel. He's like, I don't own any of these Legos. Brixie LLC owns these Legos.
Oh yeah,
And,
no, that's what you, dude. That's 100% how you get around it. You pay whatever the fees are to start an LLC, which isn't that much, and then you buy everything with a company card, and then you write it all off.
Well, if you want, go in depth.
You
he's
just
like,
write it off.
he's like,
Yeah.
everything I own is owned through my business. So yeah.
You guys ever watch Schitt's Creek?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Schitt's Creek fans. There's the whole thing where David's just like, yeah, I bought the things and I wrote it off. He's like, wrote it off of what? He's like, you just write it
Just
off.
write it off.
You just write it off. And his dad's
Oh.
like, what do you mean write it off? What
Yeah.
are you writing?
I
I
used to.
really need to start like a Four Brewers business, like LLC, because I can
But-
write off all the beer I buy.
Well,
Like,
hold on. Isn't
Dude, I write
Four
off
Brewers,
everything.
Isn't Four Brewers already? You do separate.
No,
You should
Tim.
write off all your beer purchases.
It's
man.
personal. It's personal shit.
Write off all four
Okay,
brewers.
so all you need to do is all you need to do really is turn it into a sole proprietorship, and you would be the only owner, and we would you don't even need to
Freelance.
put us in there. And
Well, I don't know how to do that.
oh, dude, you don't even need to do anything. Honestly, a sole
That makes me feel
proprietorship.
better.
You might need a business license, which I mean, in LA County, like I had to get an LA County business license for freelancing, which wasn't that much. So I don't know what it's like where you are.
Well,
But
Greg, you do
Greg-
the same thing with
Greg,
OC Beer
that's
Blog.
Scotland.
Yeah,
Framboise? What?
I don't know.
Okay,
maybe
now
I
We've
was-
moved on to what is this?
So we're doing a brewery tour on GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr.
This looks like a dope brewery, by the way. Like, look at this. Look at they have rad fucking somebody had. That's like art.
It looks like
Man,
graffiti.
I like Greg that finished all his beers on the show. This is fun.
Well,
no, I
it's
can
Greg's
see you saying
brain.
it's like for graffiti. It's really fucking
I mean,
tight.
look at that wall. Like that's pretty tall. That's solid. It's like an
It's
eagle.
pretty- It is pretty tall.
It's pretty tall. This is me. I'm gonna get that tattoo today.
Don't.
That's-
Do it right now.
Oh my god,
Take an
there's
Uber,
traffic cones on the graffiti. I like it. Where are you guys guessing here?
McAus-
Brasserie.
So McAusland sounds Scottish.
Really? I was thinking somewhere in Belgium. I mean, a brasserie
But brasserie does seem like Belgium, yeah.
or
yeah,
France.
brasserie is.
It's
Is it Bel?
French.
Could it also be French?
Zoom in
Yeah.
on that sign. What language is it? France hates beer.
Fuck, I can't really tell.
Hey, where it is right now. But
No,
I cheated.
don't look it
Tim,
up.
don't cheat. You can't, dude. They chastise me all the time for cheating. Just
It defeats the
Then-
whole purpose.
I'm really
Accept
curious.
that.
You hold on. So, language was right on one of the things you said.
Oh yeah, French.
Okay.
But Belgium speaks French. and
Wow,
German.
look at these. These buildings are dope.
It looks like where Batman's fucking enemies hide out.
Wait, here we go.
If you want some tips,
I saw a food truck.
I can give you some hints. I've been
no,
to-
Tim. I'm telling you, don't. Once you know the answer, just shut up.
We're in
'cause-
Quebec, dude. Look, that's Canada URL.
Is
We're in
it?
Quebec?
Okay, all right.
Look, it's tav.ca. This is in
Oh,
fucking
Good
French.
Yeah.
call, my friend. Good call,
Jason
my
is
friend.
Smart.
All right, we're going.
Jason's so smart. I love it.
Where's Quebec?
Quebec. No, it's more to the right.
Ontario.
Down.
Montreal. And I'm just gonna go Bing. And
Drop in Montreal, do
Wait,
it.
why'd you do
3.5 miles, dude.
3.5 miles.
Good job.
You can't get better than that.
Excellent.
Close
Just
enough.
bing bang boom it.
Yeah, it turns out getting that last like couple miles really doesn't
It's a total
benefit
waste
you.
of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck is this? This
Oh,
ain't a
no.
brewery. Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna bounce.
Throw in your
guys,
thinking
but
caps.
Take it easy.
Cheese,
All
bro.
right, buddy.
Thanks. See y'all.
Later, Tim.
Man, I don't even see a brewery for one.
What is this like? Fucking Monaco? Like,
Dude.
This looks like a desert area because everything's white.
I'm thinking Mediterranean.
There's
It's-
a lot of green though, so I'm wrong.
I don't see a brewery is the problem. Like, that's not a brewery.
Or
Is
is it?
this a brewery? This could be a brewery.
Go to the sign. Go back to the left.
Yeah, but why do they have plants and shit?
What does it say? Oh, God damn it. Never mind.
I'm trying to read that sign.
Yeah.
Vals de Toruela.
I don't know what that says.
Sant Mato.
Can we
Bagels.
Google translations? Is that cheating?
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, then I
I
won't.
feel like using Google at all. It's like
All right,
playing
all
Jeopardy and using Google. It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
Zona Industrial. Okay, so this is Spain, right? Or Italy.
It sounds Spanish. Okay.
But it could be Italy too.
Italy, like, their language has more flair, I think.
Zona
Let's
Industrial.
let's find another sign or two.
All right, we're wandering about. Where the fuck? This looks like.
Chat, you can help if you don't cheat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just throw out like, oh, this looks like
Kyle's like, it's an olive brewery.
yeah, right. Looks like. What in the
What are those
fuck?
plants? Is it just weeds or?
Valziturella. Sant Mato.
Can we look up that one word, Torella? Because I
All
Okay, hear me out. Portugal.
right. So I don't see. Is that Portuguese?
Because it feels like kind of Spanish, kind of
well,
French,
it could be Portugal or it could
which
be
sounds
Brazil.
like Portuguese. Yeah, it doesn't. No, this looks like Europe though.
Yeah, it does look like Europe, but I'm just saying, like,
Dear God, that's not even a brewery. Why would they even put that on there?
Why does
I'm just
Google
gonna
Maps have
guess.
anything that's not a brewery? Guess Portugal, dude.
just go to keep going in closer.
So I'm gonna do.
All right.
I'm gonna split the difference between Spain and Portugal
Okay.
and throw it. I'm feeling Lisbon.
That's right in the middle of Portugal.
603. Okay.
Oh, it was Spain. It's Barcelona.
It was Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Oh well.
We still got points.
Points.
La France.
I mean that's kind of a hint.
Artisanal en French Comté. I mean, I hope it's in France.
I think we're in France.
What a delightful place to go. Look at this place. I want to go get some this is a co-op cheesery.
That's a fucking fromagerie. I want to go to this place.
Right?
This looks amazing.
I want some
As a
fucking cheese.
vegan, I would also go here because you
Like,
can't.
give me some. Dude, look at this.
In
Here's
Europe,
where
you can be vegan and eat cheese.
here's where you refill your water bottle.
Mm,
Just throw it right there.
nah.
All right. La France.
La France.
La France. All right. I'm just going to go down the road.
What does that say?
No idea. I like that like hairstyle. Look at that.
We need like Nicole in here, tasting niche.
Oh, no. Yeah. She'd be like, I've been there.
Yeah.
Everyone
Almont.
knows. Everyone knows La France.
Okay. So we have a road sign, Almont.
Elmont.
There's parking in English for some
Parking.
reason. Here's where you get your La Source to arguments. Here's where you argue over sleep.
The source to arguments like, what do we want for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I mean, here's a French flag over. This is not okay. I'm just gonna go to France. Let's go to France, boys. I'm thinking south of France for some reason.
Do it, man. Just follow your heart.
I'm going to.
I'd go by the Belgian border, definitely.
Kyle says
good call.
Lyon, France.
All right, Belgian
Is he
border. Boom,
is
boom,
he
boom.
cheating? I mean,
I'm gonna go to Roubaix. Boom,
Kyle's got a warrior spirit.
slanging it. It's closer to Switzerland.
okay.
I
It was by
appreciate you
Lyon,
not
dude.
cheating.
If we would have done Lyon, we would have been pretty fucking right on
Yeah,
it.
we still got points. Who cares?
I'm saying Kyle was more right than us.
Yeah, but I appreciate him not cheating. Brouwer.
Bro war.
Okay.
No, it's a bro war.
Bro war, bro.
You going to Bro Wars this weekend?
Fuck yeah.
Fucking Bro Wars, Bro Wars, Bro Wars, Bro Wars.
What's that sign? No parking.
Bro war.
Oh, no, that is parking 20 meters away.
This looks like Czech, maybe, or Poland.
Yeah, there's a lot of consonants.
Yeah, whenever you got like CZ, HZZZ, 49, Z4, SKI, it's usually. Wow, look at this. I want to live in a log cabin
Fucking
next to a
log
brewery.
cabin. Yeah, next to a Bro War.
Are we doing brewery GeoGuessr?
Yeah, these are all breweries.
Huh.
Or Bro Wars. Bro Worries.
Dude, this is a
Four
beautiful
Bro Wars.
country. Are you kidding me? This is great. This looks like a place that would be in the northern region that would be cold as fuck and no trees in the winter. Because, like, look at the sign. It's like the bus comes here every 150 years.
If the roads were dirt, this would be like The Witcher.
Oh shit. It's fucked up if true. Well,
Oh,
that's
you
also
kidding.
in listen, that's also in Poland.
like,
So I think John is adding in the kid's pointing at the car like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Mama,
Mommy, it's Google. And the kid's playing chess, by the way.
look, Mama, a car.
The kid's got a chessboard. And mom's got a bucket of beer or something.
it looks like a tote.
All right, we're going to
Go to Poland, dude.
Poznan. Ready?
Do it.
275. Hey,
Wow.
we weren't bad. We got points.
Points.
We've discovered 0 breweries.
We
I've
discovered
still
a
have no
Bro
idea.
War.
Okay. So
This is just
what does that say?
Assie's
Tronic? Wow. Independent something?
Well, this is still Europe because those are not American plates.
No, yeah, for sure. I don't see a brewery is the problem.
Recruitment.
Hold on. Go back to that side.
Stanley Security.
No, the recruitment sign.
To the left. There you go.
There you go.
Nous recrutons des. I don't know. They're like French.
This is French. It looks like French.
Okay.
I think.
.fr.
Yeah.
You're hiring
.fr.
contractors.
Yep,
Yeah,
.fr.
.fr. So we're definitely in France. Thank you, Europe, for having country-specific domain suffixes.
Right. Thanks for helping us on GeoGuessr. Oh, there's some water. There's some boats. Man, this is like not that attractive.
Man, we're immediately onto like a fucking.
Again,
the
I have
road.
not seen one brewery today.
Well, the first one was a French thing.
Was a French thing? Was it a brewery?
Or the second
No.
one was.
Oh,
It was like the Franche de something.
Yeah,
This is
it's
weird,
Beer de
oddly-
France.
okay, fine. What is that?
Dijon
Yeah.
Beton is where they make mustard out of dirt. It's very industrial region.
They convert. They mill rocks down into fucking mustard.
I have no idea. So I'm going dead in the center of France and hope for the best. Oh, that, actually 92 miles. That's not bad. It was in Dijon. Hey, we're close to mustard.
I think
we should've-
Dijon is closer to wine than mustard.
We got pretty close though.
Just saying. I did cheat and I asked Alexa. So
All right, we didn't do that bad, boys. Didn't do that bad.
Not bad. All right, gang. I got to bounce.
Yep, we'll
Yeah.
see you. Good games.
Chill.
Always fun.
Did we get any new subs or anything in the Twitch?
I didn't check.
Let's see. Let's look real quick.
We're gonna gift a sub.
Don't check your email on stream.
Nope, nothing. That's fine. Okay, fine. Can I? Let's see. I have not done anything with my Twitch Prime. Let's. Yeah, I can't do it now because I'm hosting the 4B Twitch. It's fine. It's guys, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We don't need your money. I mean, we do. We like it.
No, I like gifting subs to people
It's
so
fine.
they'll check in. They don't have to watch an ad.
Okay. Kyle from the chat gave us 100 bits.
Noise.
Thank you. All right, guys. I am done.
Go finish
We
your
are
beer.
done.
We'll see you.
And
Chug
thanks for hanging
that
out,
beer.
everyone.
Chug that beer.
Not gonna do it.
What if
Nope.
it's for the Patreons?
We can't do it on stream because we'll get banned.
No, not gonna do it.
Whack.
Yeah. Well, fine.
I hate this
Pure-
place.
Peer pressure. All right, y'all. Later.
Bye.